We got to move on in a second.
Yes, we
Okay,
did.
so we vote.
Okay. All right, we can vote then, Deb?
Yeah. How do you want to do this? Ballots or?
Yeah, ballots.
Does the board of directors, while this is voting is happening, I'll ask, plan on explaining the plan? I mean, those of us who are in the dark on the plan are concerned.
The plan? What do you mean by the plan?
The 2012 Memorandum of Understanding clearly outlines the structure of the board.
We would feel that we have the ability as a collective to manage ourselves and to create a structure on our board that we see fit, and that's what we're doing. And we're just so
Despite legally binding agreements with third parties?
we would disagree with that statement. That's all.
So you
I'll
don't
say.
believe that memorandum of understandings are legally binding agreements?
I would say that when we were defunded in 2014,
Contracts have two sides.
contracts have two sides.
Yeah.
We're not receiving funding right now from the students.
But you're still using
but
money
the
that was
contract-
given to you by students.
Sure, absolutely.
And you are still bound by the contract, which says specifically that all the money has to be collected under the 2012 MOU.
Right.
Which means
So-
you're going further into the grounds of lawsuit. It's no longer a political choice, it's going to become a corporate choice for BUSU to sue,
So-
if you don't resolve the fact that you're out of line with the MOU.
I guess at this
But
point.
now you're going further out of line, and I'm not hearing a plan that explains how you're going to reconcile that in the future, so that's what I'm asking.
Well, we've just been told that we won't be hearing from BUSU officially for another week.
And we have this conciliatory committee that's been set up, so let's let that take place. We're just telling you what we're doing. I think those two things can happen separately.
Okay.
This is by no means us putting up a
Can you pass the
wall.
pen, please?
So those two things are mutually exclusive in my mind. So we will still absolutely, meet once we get together, and we'll figure out the plan. So do we have a plan tonight to share?
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
But that's not to say we won't in the near future and
So
share it with you.
there's no alternative to student funding?
No,
No.
there's no right now.
Okay.
There's no plan in the works. Like, you're not going to see an announcement that we come out tomorrow with.
Matt, are you aware of what the Speaker of BUSAC ruled this week?
No.
You're not aware? No, you're not aware of what the Speaker of BUSAC ruled this week at council?
About what? Go ahead, tell me.
How's that relevant to the independent working of a board here?
We have a radio station to run, Chandra.
But you need to be aware of what they said. You have to be aware. I report this to you. I tweeted it at you. Like, why
I
don't you?
don't pay attention to your tweets.
Right, well,
Yeah, you should
consider it.
seriously consider that.
I'll tell you exactly how you're being perceived. You're being perceived to be incredibly combative. You removed 2 students and replaced them with 2 community members. Why did you remove any?
No, we actually.
I gotta say, after all the bullying and saber rattling the last few years, I find it a bit odd coming from you
If you don't
guys.
stop, if you don't stop returning fire, how can anyone have a ceasefire?
I'm the one person who's acknowledged that in my reporting. I put BUSU to the
You're a
fire.
loose cannon, Shannon.
Just move
You're a loose
something
cannon, you're all over the
announcing
place.
results,
I don't know where
because
you
the
see
poll
it.
continues. Yeah? Thank you.
I don't know if you do half the time.
Yeah, this is. I'm not going to say more.
So the Speaker of BUSAC
Yeah.
ruled that the Memorandum of Understanding is the dominant binding document of this organization, and said that he recommends sending some delegates to CFBU to reconcile, specifically to bring CFBU, Brock University Students Radio, into alignment with its binding document, so that they can take responsibility for their
So
side.
define reconciliation in your terms, I guess. Is it
In my terms, because actually I was the
Restoring
one who raised
subordination?
that term to Calvin's motion. I define reconciliation as BUSU taking responsibility for at least the last 3 years of its saber rattling, for sure.
and the bullying,
Absolutely.
and acknowledging the independence of the board of CFU?
Sure, that all has to be negotiated and discussed, but, right, that's what that process is for. But I'm saying that in that document, from BUSU, BUSAC, which was adopted by the executives, it's on the table, lawsuit is on the table.
Okay.
So just so you're aware, you weren't aware prior to me bringing that up, now you are, I guess.
We can't control what they do. They
That
don't
question
necessarily
was
directly
asked
control what we do.
about half an hour ago of Calvin, whether the lawsuit was still potential.
And I was unaware of this motion.
Well, no.
So let me just get this straight, because I'm getting confused. And really, you should let a BUSAC person tell us what BUSAC is doing. No offense, Chandler, but I know you were there, I know that.
No, don't let the third-party, unaffiliated person who doesn't have the invested interest in it, yeah, sure.
Well, out of respect for him, that's why you're
I'm
here,
just
right?
saying, you have to understand that BUSA has considerable turnover. And considering that a lot of these people aren't, very politically minded, they don't take their heels in, they're willing to walk up and say, well, what should I believe? You know that. You know people in general, not just children or students. So when a guy comes up with, he looks about, say, 7 years older than you, and he wears a $300 suit, and he tells you what to believe, you're very likely going to believe him. So as long as you're not in harmony with this 2012 memorandum of understanding, then they can always put it on you. But if you, if you were as an organization, were to bring yourself into harmony with that MOU, then they can't say anything against you. And I don't see how these new students would find any reason to come out against you. Shandor himself, as many of you know, was banned from our chamber from last year, and this year he's back. So that's a considerable turnover. So I think, yeah, as a group, we're coming in here, we're talking very frankly, and I think, yes, honestly, I would have been more comfortable seeing you, if you had removed those 2 seats, maybe if you wanted to come into harmony with this recommendation, you should have had 1 more student seat and 1 more community member seat, because in my view, that says balance.
But that's still not in compliance with the MOU.
We added 2 student auxiliary seats. That's who we replaced.
What would make them an auxiliary? How are they in support of?
They have met their 8-hour community, their 8-hour volunteer
But
time.
we just changed this.
There's more tiers? There's
No.
more
So can I ask a question to the board? Is there concern that the pending threat of a lawsuit from BUSU against BUSR is real?
Well, we've just said the word that it will not happen.
I never said it will not happen. I said I don't see it happening. And that was before I knew of this motion.
Okay, thanks, guys.
What time is it? Is it? Because we have to-
We have a hard stop here at 8:30, I believe.
What time is it?
I just asked for a month.
You gotta go? Okay.
Sorry.
A month.
Sorry.
I just asked for a month.
So where are
In
we
relation
at?
to what? Sorry.
Well, we've already cast our vote.
This vote?
I mean,
Yeah, the vote's already happened.
Yeah.
You have to go, right?
What's the results of the vote?
Don't know yet.
Result is yes.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Motion carried.